I'll wait a few minutes. See who comes in. $12:02. Ready for bed. Just finished correcting some papers. Nobody here. It's a Thursday night. I'm in the dark. Hey, Pat Paulson, how you doing, sir? What you up to? Yeah, I was just finishing papers. I'm taking a long-term position over a school where the teacher doesn't return, so they asked me to stay until I'm trying to fall asleep. Same here, except grading papers will put you to sleep real easy. How you been doing? You're kidding. 78 hours ago? Shoot. The energy of these kids, I'm right now teaching sixth graders, and believe me, I come home, I'm pooped. Just keeping up with them. Mentally, that is. Insomnia, do you know why you're having insomnia? Is it a lot of projects in your mind, or your parents keeping you awake? Ooh. Is she retired too, or is she taking classes for a job? Or, oh, okay. Yeah, when I worked retail, sometimes I would work second or third shift, which would be either 3 to 12 or 10 to 7 stocking crew at night. Um, I didn't like swing, but it was better than overnight or day crew. Didn't like working day crew in grocery stores. Yeah, I just came in. Well, I haven't been on for a while. I wanted to see who was online. So what have you been keeping yourself doing now that you're no longer a tool salesman? Are you still back in that line? Yeah, but you must have a lot of projects to do on your cars. The rain don't help though. Um, you know, I was thinking about getting my master's, but it's quite a bit of money for a master's, and I would have to go back. And what I would like to do really is go back into um, mentoring new teachers and like giving them feedback and evaluations. I know they do that in teacher college, like a mentor. Oh, okay, cool. I saw a Z the other day, and I thought it was really clean. And I saw all the pictures, and the only time I saw, why is it the price so low for a 72? And it was an automatic. It was like almost like most of them are like above 32,000. This was only like 17, 18,000 for a 72, and I thought that was kind of low. And when I saw the automatic, I said, "Oh, okay, that's probably why." Well, the other thing too is that I noticed that even the principal, I should say, at this school that I'm at, and the teachers, classes like 35, 33 kids in a class, and they're overwhelmed. Pacing guides, they have to have a subject matter competency and just a whole bunch of stuff that they're accounted for. Actually, they showed the pictures of the battery box and it was clean. I don't know about maybe other hidden. I saw one for $9,000 and it was in rough shape. I mean, they even said that it's in rough shape. It's on what's that website called? Autotempest.com. And then I go to 240zcarsforsale.com. Yeah, I don't look at cars back east because man, that's those salt roads really eat up those cars. Hey, 710. How you doing, sir? Okay. Maybe one of these days we'll hook up and try to find a car or two and go look at, and then you can tell me what to look for in those cars and be like a teaching tool. I'm a little tired. I returned to a full-time position. The teacher left the school, and I'll be there until March 4th. No, March 6th. I'm sorry, maybe longer. So what are you up to, 710? A Corvette at 160 plus? Dang. I was watching Cops a little while ago, and they were in Colton, California, Sheriff Department. And then I saw another one in Springfield, Missouri, where my son was living for a while. Really? Taking it easy? Well, I wish I could say that. Man, no, I kind of like doing what I'm doing. Do I remember correctly? But did you develop a new game? I know I played the other one, high low cards, and but I thought you were developing another card game or something like that. Hey, what are you doing? How you doing, Steve? I was hoping you'd come by, Steve. Pat, this is Steve. Steve, 710 710. I think you know Cyclops. I'm not sure, but I've been under the weather for a while too. Just basically a cough. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Pat Paulson is well, by mileage, he's a neighbor down the street. Oh, okay. Cool. 710 and I go back about maybe a couple of years, 2 years ago. Mostly in the card game and oh, the thing is I don't smoke ever. It's these kids that get sick, man. Jeez. Their hygiene is not really that magnificent, especially sixth graders. We've been having a lot of meetings with with we had the health department come over and do a vaping presentation because vaping among sixth and seventh and eighth graders are is getting to be epidemic levels. And then we had one for mental health, and then we had one for what was that other one for? Oh, gangs. We we had a former police officer from the local PD come in, and he was also in the gang task force with Fresno County, and he started telling about kids what to look for, not to be in trouble, what to if you want to stay out. The only things wrong with that kind of lifestyle, and really, it really got the kids weren't even paying attention really. Most of them know about it already. Yeah, yeah. The lunch today, one girl was eating. Well, three girls were eating out of one bowl, and all sticking a fork inside of the uh, bowl, and they're all eating at one time. Going, that's gross. Yeah, and the cheaper ones are the worst ones. The ones that are like no name brands or they're knockoffs of a better style, and they've got formaldehyde, they have nicotine in it, and some metals that they breathe in their lungs. And geez, all I ever worry about is barbecue smoke. Huh. How's the weather in your neck of the woods there, Paul? Pat, I mean, um, is it soggy like in my town? 710. Have you been getting a lot of rain or snow in your place? You grow your own. Okay. Uh, I kind of figure it's not tobacco. Yeah, we've been having some rain. And funny thing is that we get rain, but it doesn't really get like the mudslides in the mountains. They do in Southern California, Northern California, Sacramento area. Here we just keeping all the water behind our dams. Square stock, like in 1 inch tubing, square tubing. Pat, are you making a trailer or reinforcing the body on your cars? I don't do well talking about myself. I read the comments and then oh, Steve's here. Hello, hello, sir.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine, my friend. I am doing a lot better than over the weekend because I was sicker than a dog, but I still went to work.
Well, I'm glad you're on the mend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I get my old ass on the mend, we'll both be okay.
My problem is I'm too old to mend that many times.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So
I busted up a couple of ribs a few days ago, and oh, it's wearing me out.
damn, how did you bust your ribs?
I came walking in the front door, and
Uh-huh.
my wife's little rat dogs, they get all excited when they're home by themselves. And here they come running to the front door, running. And one of them just took my right foot right out from under me.
Ah, dang.
And I fell, and we've got marble top tables. Like one of them's a coffee table and two end tables.
Yes, sir.
And I landed right on the side of the middle of my rib cage on that marble top table. And,
well, let me ask
that
you,
does not have much give.
well, let me ask you, was it like lower rib cage or mid cage?
It kind of lower middle. Basically, you can't splint it. You just,
Nope.
when it gets to hurting, I wrap it up, put a little pressure on it. It helps.
Well, don't cough too many times.
Oh, believe me, I'm trying not to cough.
Oh my Lord. Well, I hope you get better, sir.
Oh yeah, this too shall pass. 710, Pat. How you doing, fellas? Am I missing anybody?
No, I think you got all of us. Pat's a neighbor down the street from my house, 45 minutes away.
Cool.
Yeah, and we're also like the same kind of cars, and we talk about tools and. Well, I think you've been in his channel, haven't you? Let's see, what's his name? Oh, Ed, old tool tech guy, and the other one is Power Stroke Jude. You've been those?
They sound. I'm sure I have them, but I'm not going to swear to it.
Okay, all right. Jude, yeah, Power Stroke Jude, yeah.
Yeah, I got people that 710 said, yeah. I met him. I talked to him once, or I met him once, or however.
Man, he
when I laugh, I gotta mash my arm down on my ribs, but that was funny.
Well, shoot, my granddaughter took a swing at me, and because she got mad and she put both her hands right on my cheeks and squished them together. And that didn't hurt too much, just surprised me. But when she hit my glasses, man, that didn't feel so good on my nose.
Was she? I'm hoping she was just playing.
She was playing, but she's heavy-handed. She's solid. She's like 40 pounds, and she's just solid little girl. She's got more muscles than her daddy does.
Tell her, take it easy on the old man.
I'm gonna tell you. I told her, I said, don't hit Grandpa that way.
Grandpa might break.
Shoot, I'm falling apart as it is. I don't need any help.
I feel your pain there, brother.
Oh man. Sometimes I wonder, I hope I don't get too old to the point where I can't walk anymore or feel pain because the wind blows by my hair or something. Because sometimes everything hurts. Like with this last week, just being under the weather, everything was just hurting. So now that's better now. Oh, Tariq is calling him. Okay, I'll talk to you in a bit, Pat. And yeah, she just surprised the heck out of me. I said, "Dang, girl, I'm gonna put you in boxing or something because you got a heavy hand, girl." And then she just laughs. I said, If your mother wasn't around, Grandpa may do a spanking.
My grandkids, they come over here and they wear me out. It takes me a good 3 or 4 days to heal up.
Oh, well,
And that's from the little ones.
yeah. And I usually have my grandkid, two of my grandkids, my grandson and the oldest granddaughter. We bring them over, and then the other two girls take a fit because we can't bring them with us because all four of them together. Well, three of them. Well, the little ones are worse because they're all over the place. We have to clear our tables. We have to clear off our coffee tables. Anything that's on a that you can reach, they want it. They just throw it on the floor, and it's just pick after them hour after hour. And so they're still little. And my daughter doesn't like us bringing the youngest one, who's a year old. So, hey, Rez, how you doing?
Hey, see, I want you to know,
Uh huh.
when I came over here, I was backstage talking to Rez,
Uh
my,
huh.
my darling,
Uh huh.
and I saw you go live. So as much as it broke my heart to leave Rez,
And she followed you.
I came over here. Yes, I told her your channel name. She said she was going to look for you and drop in.
Oh, good.
So you have been blessed.
I've always been blessed with my friends. Not all agree with me, but it's a wonder.
Rizzy, she is a sweetheart.
Oh, I saw. What I can't remember her name, but she goes by Music 55K.
KK,
KK.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She was live earlier. That's yeah. When she bailed out, we stayed backstage and we man we chatted for quite a while, and then I saw you go live. I was like, okay, I just talked to him in one of my what do you call them, the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, so if I don't go over there, I'm gonna feel like a real asshole. So,
Well, the reason why I came on is I can't get to sleep right now because I've been grading papers. You know, when your mind starts going and you gotta find something to calm your mind down a little bit. So I
yeah,
went ahead and thought, I'm gonna go online. So I thought I'd come on here and see what was on here. And for a while there, for like 4 minutes or 3 or 4 minutes, I was like talking to myself and going, "Shoot, this I don't like doing this." And Pat showed up, and then 710, and then you, and then Rez.
yeah. Well,
Somebody
it
else
took
was
took
getting
me a
me.
few minutes. I had to get over crying, from saying goodbye to Rez.
Oh, look at this! Ed, the tech guy, is here.
Hey,
Well,
you
he's
got
up
them
late.
rolling in.
Yeah, he's in Chicago or some. I think he's Chicago or
Wow.
Illinois. I know for sure.
Why?
Oh, working at this hour? Geez, Ed, you must have got energy, man. I was pooped today at 4 o'clock when I got home, and then we had to go to Fresno, and then we had to go to pick up my wife at getting her eyebrows done, and then we went to put gas, and then we went to pick up the kids, and my wife says, "No, we can't pick up the kids because she has a lunch date with her ex coworkers, a girl thing." And then okay, I said, "Okay, no problem. I got to work tomorrow. She's gonna come back, and then we're gonna go pick up the kids tomorrow or today, I should say." So it's whew, those kids keep me busy. Steve, do most of your kids live within the area?
Yeah, I'm lucky. The farthest two that the two that live the furthest away are about an hour, probably a
Uh-huh.
little less than an hour. The rest of them are a whole lot closer, so I get to see them a lot. But yeah, I'm kind of like you. You know, we have to limit. You know, usually, five is the max, but two of
Mhm.
them are, like in their teens, so they're not much trouble.
Really?
Of course, the little, my youngest one
Yeah, I
is,
was gonna say the boy, right?
yeah, well, no, he's pretty chill now. He's 6.
Uh-huh.
That's the little the dancer,
Okay, yeah,
the
yeah,
little crazy man, and he's
yeah.
got a sister that just turned 4. Now she's a wild child, and they've got a little brother who just turned 1, and and I could tell already he's going to be a wild man.
Well, I can tell you that my grandson is going to be. I went to school to go watch him do his track, and he had I don't want to say a flock of girls, but there was a few girls that were just saying his name and waving at him, and he's just turning red with embarrassment because he says, "Those girls, I don't like them." I said, "Dad, they're your fan club," and he gets all mad. And he's only 11 years old. Well, no, yeah, he's 11 now. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandson, he's 6. I bug him all the time. I said, "How many girlfriends you have now?" He's like 13, 14. He said,
Oh my
"No,
lord.
pa." I said, "Okay." 11 or 12. He said, "No, pa." I said, "Okay. How many do you have?" And he kind of blushes. He says, "I don't know, 3 or 4." And
Man.
he's not kidding. It drives my daughter crazy because the girls. He's such a nice kid. I mean,
Uh-huh.
he's one of those kids that never meets a stranger.
Oh yeah.
And those girls, they just love him.
Hmm. Wow. I was the quiet one. Now that I'm shoot, when I worked into retail, before I got into retail, I was really a very quiet person. After I don't know, maybe 25 was more the social butterfly. I learned to blossom after that. And now, eh, nothing bothers me. People talk. They say a lot of crazy stuff in front of me. I just walk by and just, you guys need to calm down. Get down to earth a little bit. But other than that, my son is very laid back, which is the opposite of me. And my daughter is like me. She's when I get fired up, I'm in your face. I don't back down, and she's worse than I am, but she still has a good level head. My granddaughters, oh my gosh. Last night they sent us a video of the 3 girls that they had to play dress up before they go to bed. They dressed up in their I forget Tasmate. There was 3 princesses that they were dressed like the Arabian Nights, and they had to dance. And so they sent a video to our house, and we're looking at them and going, "This is before you guys go to bed." Oh, we had to wear them down because they're just hyper.
Yeah, my granddaughter that's 4, she takes dancing lessons. It's ballet and tap.
Ooh.
And when she comes over here, she makes me get up. I don't dance. I am not a dancer. But she makes me get up in the living room where there's big open space in the floor,
Uh huh.
and I have to dance. Mainly it's her spinning around, and I'm just kind of holding on for the ride. And she loves it. That you know, I get a kick out of it just to see the smile on her face. So
Well, you know something? I was thinking the same thing because my granddaughter, Lacey, the oldest girl, she'll tell me about her makeup and what colors she likes the best, the combinations, and her dress. And then when we walk in the door, sometimes at her house, she'll go, "I'll be right back." I said, "Don't go. Sit with us." "No, I'll be back." I said, "Okay." She comes back and she's modeling a dress. And then she goes back and models another dress. And she goes back and models another dress. I said, how many dresses do you have? This girl's got dresses. She buys them like we buy tissues, you know. And it's fun because she'll come out and she says, do you like it? Do you think, should I wear it this way or should I wear it? I said, girl, I don't know what you're talking about because it looks fine no matter what you wear. But it's fun. I mean, I'm not the girly type person to, pay attention. And even the girls at school, when they start saying, but please, can I go? When they do that, oh my gosh, I just choke on it and say, no, you're staying. You go. I'm not that touchy-feely for girls that go, being daddy's little girl. Mm-mm. And the girls do that a lot in school. Can I go with her? She'll be by herself. She'll be so lonely. I said, how about being independent? Go on your own.
There you go.
That's how my daughter is. She's very independent. She bought a house on her own when she was 27. She didn't ask for help and no help in down payment. I didn't even know she was saving money for a house. But she did it. 710 says, my daughter puts on makeup
Yes.
on Friday night and camouflage paint on Saturday mornings. She does it all.
There you go.
Looking good and feeding the family. That's one way to do it.
That's
Oh,
funny.
710. Believe me, they bought us this kind of computer or something. It's a picture frame. We can send all our pictures to this cloud, and then the cloud sends it to our internet, and the internet puts it onto this like picture frame, and we have all the pictures that we can put on it, stays on it, and it goes in rotation. I have my pictures when I was a kid, my dad when he was a kid, my grandparents, Linda, my wife's Linda's, her family's all in there. And even when we go to a trip and we make pictures, we send them automatically to the cloud, and it goes into our, they call it an aura, AURA, and it's pretty neat.
We've got one of those. I somehow or another you plug your phone into it and you can download all your photos into this little picture frame, and it just slowly scrolls one after the other after the other.
With us, we just send it to the cloud, and it sends automatically through our Wi-Fi into that thing.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I don't even know how the one that we have works. They know how to do it. So
yeah,
have at it. You know me. I'm a Neanderthal when it comes to this.
Oh, I'm an
internet stuff.
I'm a geek. I like learning that. Well, that's why my channel is called Hector's Interest in Coins. It wasn't supposed to be just interest in coins. It was supposed to be Hector's interest and in coins. And somehow I screwed up I didn't want to change it. Okay, Ed. Thanks for stopping by, man. And take good care of yourself, man. Nowadays,
have a
the
good
flu's
night.
going around, man. The flu's going around. Be careful. Good night, Ed.
Yes, 710. My youngest daughter, I took her down to get her for her hunter education class, which you have to have before you can get a hunting license. And they have this 53-foot tractor trailer they make into a shooting range. They use, if you pass the written part, you get to go out and take the shooting part, which they use little 22 shorts. And my youngest daughter, I took her down there through it. Of course, I've had her shooting ever since she was big enough to hold a BB gun.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she had to shoot like 6 shots, and so many of them had to be in the bullseye area. And the guy that was running it, apparently he was blind because she shot like 3 shots. He said, you need to aim higher. And I said, no, you need to keep doing what you're doing, because I saw where those bullets were hitting.
Mm-hmm.
and there was about 60 people, and some of these were grown men, like 60 people in that class, and she was about 9, and she outshot every one of them. I was so proud of that kid.
Dang. You know, the thing that my dad, well, I was in Boy Scouts too, and we did a lot of survival stuff. You know, we didn't ever hunt with guns. We had to make our own fishing lures and fishing lines, and traps. For, let's say, rabbits or birds.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, for one thing, we couldn't afford guns. That's one. The other one was because we're always out when we're hungry. We look around, look for food. And the guy says, "You know how to make a trap?" I said, "Yeah, just got some fishing wire." He goes, "What do you do with that?" I say, "You make a loop, making sure it slides, and then you find an area where you see like waves in the dirt. Not so much waves in the water or the sides, but in the dirt, because sometimes the fish will scoot on the bottom, and we put a fishing lure there, or we put a loop in the water, and you can't see the wire. So when they get in there and they get stuck, around their neck, we pick them out.
Just make a snare.
Yeah, basically snare. Yeah, or or we do a pit, for birds that drops the leaves and the canopy stops on top of them. That's another one we do. But it was just mostly we thought it was just toys to play with, fun to catch things, snakes, gophers, squirrels. We never ate
God,
them
I
though.
haven't seen a gopher in so many years. When I was real young and lived in Wyoming, we had gophers everywhere. There
Oh,
are no gophers in Tennessee.
there's gophers here in California. I can tell you that.
Wyoming was, I mean, they were everywhere.
Well, we can't keep them here because we have a lot of irrigation ditches around the whole county, and when they dig a hole, it isn't just one little doggy; it's like 10 of them, and it breaks a hole and it floods a field. It could be wheat, it could be alfalfa, and the water can't be. You can't cut the alfalfa when it's all wet. So sometimes you lose a crop or two, or a cutting, or two, I should say.
Yeah, I remember we lived in a very, very small town in Wyoming, and there was a guy. He was a trapper. He trapped gophers constantly. I
Yeah,
can't
our
imagine him getting very much money for the pelts, and I don't know what the heck you would do with the gopher pelt, but
no, well, most of them here in California, they're just a bounty on them. That's all it is. It's just a bounty. I think it's $10 a head.
that it's been so long ago that may have been what he was doing. It's like I said, I was 4.5 when we moved down here, so that's a long time ago.
Huh.
But I remember him heading out. We lived in the High Plains Desert. I remember him heading out with 40 or 50 traps.
In Wyoming, a desert?
High Plains Desert, yes. Where we lived was, I mean, we had mountains around us, but where we lived, there were no trees. It was sagebrush, sand, horny toads, gophers. Every now and then you'd come across a badger mound or something like that, and antelopes everywhere. A few mule deer, but yeah, the High Plains Desert. It was I forget what the exact elevation was, but it was they
Yeah.
refer to it as the High Plains Desert,
Yeah, we have
and it
everything.
looked like a desert
Well, you
surrounded
can
by mountains.
you can go 3 hours in any direction from where I am at. You can go to the Delta. You can go to the Bay Area in San Francisco. You can go to the Delta in Sacramento, the flats south of me. You go a little further down. You go to the Mount Tachi Mountains. On the other side, you got the what do you call it, desert. Go the other way, you got the big city of Los Angeles. And the other way, you got nothing but coastline, about 900 miles of it. Man, sometimes I don't see how the people travel the whole. Oh, I'll be in Colton, California in about 4 hours, and then you get in the traffic and it's like 8, 9 hours. because the traffic's so bad.
Mm. I was reading 710's comment. And I used to, in my younger days, I was a killer shot with a bow.
Compound or
Both. I had a compound bow and I had a couple of recurves, and then
is that the one that's got like a tilt at the top and bottom of the bow?
yeah, basically it looks like a stick with a couple of notches at the top, a couple of notches at the bottom. You bend it a little bit, you just string it, and basically you're just using the bend of the wood. That's what fires your arrow. With the compound bow, the pulleys do it.
Because when I was in Boy Scouts, we had all our badges, and archery was one of them, and all we did was longbow, English longbow.
Well, see, I swore up and down. They started to make it legal in Tennessee several years ago, where you could hunt with a crossbow. And I thought, oh, that's cheating, man. That takes all the sport out of it. Until I had my mega wipeout on the ATV and ended up being blind in one eye. And I could go out in the backyard with my compound bow and shoot perfect. But up in a tree stand, you get a deer walking through the woods. I could, you're pulling back the string. You're looking through your peep sight. You're picking up your pin, guessing how far it is. You're picking your pin. You're looking at the deer, and you're making sure there's no limbs or twigs or anything in the way. And the stuff in the way was my problem. And I did not want to shoot. I've always prided myself on being an ethical hunter. If I shoot something, it's going to die. So
on the first shot.
Yep. And I broke down and I bought a crossbow. But then it was you had to be totally disabled to hunt with a crossbow. And for about the first 2 years, I still felt like I was cheating. But I'll tell you what, some of those crossbows, man, they are bad Jose's, man. They are fast and they are accurate.
I was going to ask you, is that more accurate than the regular bow then? And you obviously answered the question already.
Well, it depends on who's shooting them. I mean, a regular bow, if you practice long enough, you're going to be just as accurate as anyone with a crossbow. But a crossbow makes it so much easier because the crossbow I have has a very small scope. It's like a 2 power. It's just the only reason why I got that type of crossbow is because using that little bitty scope, that it's not, I mean, because past 50 yards, you're not going to shoot anything with the crossbow anyway.
Really?
But with that little bitty weak scope, it allowed me to pick up any limbs or any twigs, anything in between. That way I didn't have to worry about, gut shooting the deer and it running off 3 miles and dying, 10 days later, because I just, I couldn't do that.
No, are the arrows shorter? Aren't they more blunt and shorter?
Yeah. Well, they're called bolts. Yeah, they are shorter.
Okay. 710 says he's got a friend that hunts everything but deer with a pellet gun. Hey, in England, they hunt with pellet guns and they hunt with foxes and all that kind of stuff. But even big deer, they've got a pellet gun that they make in England. They can knock down a good sized deer.
No, you can buy pellet guns in the U.S. that you can hunt wild boar with. They're like 50 cal pellet guns.
Are they breakaways? Are they gas powered or what?
They're gas powered. I think you can shoot like
dang
3 shots.
Caliber?
I mean, you can drop wild boar. I mean, you can hunt elk, you can hunt moose, you can hunt boar. I mean, these things, they're not like the old .177. And I'm like that. If I go squirrel hunting or
Uh-huh.
rabbit hunting or something like that, I take a pellet gun because it's the for me like I've got a ton of deer rifles. I haven't hunted deer with a rifle in at least 20 years. I either archery hunt or muzzleload hunt. For me, the challenge. I mean, any jackass can get a scope sighted in and kill a deer at 300 yards with a good rest.
Uh-huh.
The challenge with black powder and archery is getting them close.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's the fun of it. And same thing with rabbits and squirrels.
Yeah, there's a buddy of mine. His name is Dave. He has about 200 acres northeast of us near the foothills. Well, actually, it's in the foothills. He has 200 acres. He's got a lot of wild boar up there that he's trying to get rid of. And he invited me to go with him. So I asked him, what are you going to use? 30-06, 30-30 Winchester? What? He goes, no. 357 Magnum, handgun. Hell no. I'm going to go after boars. Those things are mean, especially the ones we have here in this area. But he went up there with his dogs. He had some dogs, and it's got these special kind of vests for the dogs that so they don't get gored by the tusks these boars have.
Oh yeah,
And he
they
goes over
they
there. He
they
goes over
they,
there.
they guard their ribs and their
Yeah,
guts.
yeah. And what they do is he goes over and the dogs trap him, and then he'll catch them, and then he'll stick them with his pig sticker is a big old Bowie knife. And but then the only reason why he has a gun is just in case a brown bear or a golden bear pops out after the same meet.
Yeah. Well,
So
a lot of people in Tennessee do the same thing. They use a lot of them use chase. They call them chase dogs. That'll run them down and bay them up, and then they'll unloose a catch dog, and they'll run up there and they'll get one of them hogs by the ears or get them by the jaw, and you just slip up there and run a blade through them. And
north of the armpit.
I mean, I know people think I'm crazy, and
No.
this was a stupid mistake. I went on a hog hunt on this farm probably 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. And this guy, he would film a lot of the hog hunts on his farm, and his place was ate up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And he would film all the hunts and put them on YouTube, and he had his own channel there for a while. And he had a spear. So the plan was I was going to go up there and we're going to use the dogs, and I was going to spear one.
Oh shoot!
And we get up there, and the game warden, it got all over him. Told him, "No, I don't want to hear any more of this." He said, I don't want to see any more videos." And I said, "Well, that's the only reason why I want to go up there with a spear is so I can video it and take it home." He said, "I can't." He said he won't let me. He's threatening me with this. He's threatening me with that. And so I had a sidearm, like everybody does when you hog hunt, for just in case of an emergency.
Right.
Because them hogs, you never know when hogs are going to come charging you when you're in the woods. So I had a Glock 40, and the biggest hog I ever killed in my life, I killed with a Glock 40. And I'm telling you right now, that is not enough gun to go hog hunting with.
No, even
but
a
I
40.
got him. But
how'd you hit him?
You
hit him in the head, did you?
The first time right in the ear, but yeah, I ended up having to shoot him like 4 times. He took off running up the hill. I took off running behind him. But yeah,
Would you have a revolver, or did you have
no? It was a Glock 40 semi-automatic.
Semi-automatic. So you pulled that trigger quick, huh? Chasing you, man. Oh.
Well, me and a buddy of mine went down there, and he decided he wanted to bow hunt, and I was planning on doing a spear thing. Well, he'd never been up there before, so I said, "Okay, the first hunt is yours." And these we kept seeing these 300, 250 to 350 pound pigs come by. I mean, just I bet we saw 30 of them. And he wanted to rip an arrow every time. I said, just wait. I said, I've been here before. I said, there are monsters in this place. I said, just wait. And finally, he got to the point where he couldn't wait. About a 300 pounder come by, and he stuck it. He perfect shot. He nailed it. And then the next day, by the time we got it, gutted, cleaned, and out of there, it was pretty much time to go home.
Uh-huh.
So the next day, it was my day to hunt with this stinking Glock. So we're up there through the woods, and we're seeing several hogs, and also something catches my eye. I look up, and I'm telling you, it looked like a dinosaur coming down this hill, because there's no flat ground out there in East Tennessee. You're either going up or you're going down.
Right.
And I said, don't move. Do not move. And this thing kept coming closer, closer, closer. He got about 12 to 15 yards away, and I Abraham Lincoln his ass, and I thought he would drop, and nope. He let out a squeal, and he took off. I took off after him, and ended up getting him. And the old guy that owned the farm had this old scale, a hanging scale that you could hang stuff on to weigh, but it maxed out at 750.
Oh, geez.
So we hung him on that scale, and he bottomed the scale out. So I really have no idea. I had his head mounted because he was too massive not to mount. But he bottomed out a 750-pound scale. But
have you seen those videos like in East Texas or West Texas? I forget exactly where it's at. They use helicopters and AR-15s and full autos.
Yeah, I see a lot of them out there. They're doing that at nighttime with the night vision scopes on their guns.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
That's
but
crazy.
I mean, when you see 40 of them going in one direction as a pack, they actually use automatic weapons. Because you couldn't load or even pull a trigger fast enough to get all those 30 or 40 of them down.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen them use automatic. I've seen a bunch of them out there with AR-15s, with like 30-round mags. But
yeah, see, 710, I believe that too. But it's a nuisance. In I know, where was it? I was talking to a guy about that. Somewhere near Oklahoma, Texas border, they have like infestation. I mean, it's so bad that they're even hitting them on the highway when they're driving through, the countryside.
Yeah,
There'll be 30, 40 of them going across the road, and all of a sudden you see like a black mound of rock just going across the street and the highway, and they hit tons of them. So I guess they do the same thing just to get rid of them.
Yeah, luckily they're not that bad up here where I'm at yet.
But aren't
they claim they're moving further north, but man, I've seen some of those videos from Texas that's insane. And he's right. It really is kind of a slaughter, but it's a necessary slaughter because they're ruining millions of dollars worth of crops.
Well, I was thinking they call it culling. They call it culling. CULLING. One mama pig can have 30 pigs a year. Damn. Well, isn't their cycle like every 3 months they can have up to 12?
Something like that. They can have a lot, and they can have them quick.
Wow. I know. Who was telling me that they? You're right, because they root everything. They uproot almost all the crops because they like to eat their tubers.
Yeah, the farmers, I don't blame them. I mean, because what they're losing in their crops, they're gaining by charging people to come down there and kill these dang things. And I don't blame them. I just don't. You know, I believe in a fair hunt, but when it comes to a nuisance, you know, animal, that's like killing a cane toad in Australia. I don't see
Mm.
that being a problem.
Well, it's just like my brother-in-law lives in Maui in Hawaii, and they have a problem with pigs over there,
Yeah.
and they're destroying the jungle like crazy because they're eating everything that's green. Can produce fast. They're females, and they can reproduce. Yeah, they can reproduce fast. I know you can. I know we used to get our pigs when we were growing them at the ranch 3 times a year, and normally, shoot, we'll have 3 hogs, and by the end of the year, we have almost 100.
Mm.
Snake fish head or snakehead fish and Asian carp are taking over our waters. Yeah, but nobody wants to eat them.
Well, they're figuring out ways to eat those. That's changed quite a bit here in the past year.
Hmm.
It breaks down in they're so bony. People have finally learned a trick of how to clean them and how to different ways to prepare the meat. So it's not as bad as it was a year or two ago, where basically they were garbage fish. Anybody that caught one would just throw it on the bank and let it die, or they just bust its head. Now they're and there's a few companies that are using them to make dog food.
Really?
Yep.
Hey, 710, are carp anything? I mean, I like tilapia, I like, mahi mahi and all that kind of stuff, but is carp anything to say it's not a edible fish or it doesn't taste great or what?
No, most people don't eat carp. Some Cajuns do. Now, Asian carp is different than native carp. Asian is a non-invasive species.
Mm-hmm. What's that thing, the stuff that grows all over trees all over the south?
You're talking about
It's a,
kudzu?
it's a yeah. What is that stuff? Is that a vine?
Yeah, it's a vine.
Not native to the United States. Then I take it.
Are you talking about the Asian carp? No,
No, the kudzu.
I'm not real sure where that came from, but once it takes off, man, whoo, it takes off.
I've had them every way you can cook them. They're eatable, but nasty, sweet, mushy meat. Nasty, sweet,
Now, are you
mushy.
talking about regular, like native carp or Asian carp? 710.
I, yeah, I was going to ask which one is it because I'm trying to eat more fish, and right now salmon, halibut, which is expensive as hell, especially in California. Um, Salmon, halibut, mahi mahi. Um, what's that one that tilapia, which is a trash fish, but it's easy to cook in 10 minutes. Both sides done. You can do like 30 pieces of fillet, and you're done in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I love firing up my smoker and doing salmon and trout on the smoker. No, that's
Have you
good.
have you put it on a cedar board?
Yes.
Do you soak the cedar wood for what, a couple hours or overnight?
Usually just an hour or two. Just
An
just
hour or two?
just enough to keep it from
Burning?
usually if I do my smoker has the firebox on the side.
Uh-huh.
So when I do the fish, I do it on the far side of the smoker, as far away from the heat as I can get, where it's, getting more smoke and less heat. So you don't have to worry too much about the cedar planks, charring up or lighting up on you.
You do remember last year I bought 441 pounds of beef, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna buy another half this year.
Okay. Do I need to send you my address?
No, I can send you mine and you get a plane ticket.
I think me and my brother, well, of course, he said this about 6 months ago that one of his buddies raises and sells cattle, and we're talking about buying a couple of steers
Uh-huh.
and raise, because I had a friend of mine. That's what we would do every year. We would buy like 2 steers, and, get them about $300. And back then you could get them. I mean, 300 pounds,
Yeah.
350. And back then you could get them for about $300. Now they probably cost you 2 or 3 times that.
Mm-hmm.
But just grass feed them, and like the last 30 days, we'd put them in the barn and pour the corn to them. And
we call it graining them up.
Yep. It marbles up the meat.
Oh, heck yeah!
And take them to the slaughterhouse. We do it every year.
I mean, I've got a fenced off area of 5 acres. He's gonna bring 10 head with their baby calves with them. They'll be taking milk off the mother, but the heifers will all have grass to feed for 5 acres, and then he'll take a couple of them, like the older ones, and he might slaughter the one in April. I'm sorry, one in March, one in May, one in September, and another one in December, and we can take our pick. Cool. They're mostly Holstein Angus, so they're pretty good crossbreed.
Yeah, Angus is we every time we would always do Angus. At one time, the guy we were buying them from, he bought a Limousine bull.
Oh, Limousine's nice.
So the last 2 we bought was a cross from a Limousine bull and an Angus cow.
We did a red heifer. I mean, red Hefner. We did a red Hefner and a Charlet. The meat was unbelievable. You ever heard of a Charlet?
Oh yeah.
Now those you can't believe the meat that comes out of that cross. 710 says a kudzu came from Asia. Figures is probably like a water bounded plant.
They said they planted it on hills to keep them from washing away.
Well, that's what we need right now, but we don't need kudzu. Not that bad, but we've been so dry for so many years that now the rains are washing down, like on Pacific Coast Highway. We've had, I don't know how many slides right on PCH1, just blocking miles and miles of California roads. You ever see big? Well, you've been to Monterey, right?
Yep, been a long time ago. I loved it. I don't think I'll ever go back, but I did love it.
Well, you're always welcome to come, sir.
Yeah, I think I've probably made my last trip to California, but I did love Monterey. Going out, and we just happened to time it right. When the blue whales were
oh yeah,
coming through. Yeah, go out on the whale watching boats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that was so awesome.
The best ones that I saw. Well, I saw it on TV, but they did a documentary on the whales coming in, and they were breaching out there. Just come from the out of the water, breach the water, hit the water, splash water all over the place. There was one incident where they had, I don't know, like must have been 50 out there, biggest pod of whales you ever seen. It was documented on TV, and I was just watching it. It was just amazing. They're all swimming out there, huge old things.
Yeah, when I was out there, there were several boats that worked together. That way, if one of them came across a pod, they'd get on the radio and holler at the rest of them. That way, the other ones could head somewhere where you could actually see the whales, and they were breaching. It was awesome. One of them breached. I mean, a big one. He was like 25, 30 yards away from the boat, and oh man, that
Did you
was
ever get a
awesome.
chance to go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium?
I think, at least what I've heard, I think they've added to it since I was out there.
Oh yeah, it's huge now.
Doesn't it like jut out into the bay itself?
Yep, yep, yep. And and also on the underground, you can go into the sea, and you can see the waves come on the shore above you.
Wow.
And then they have a few exhibits now that they brought in the tidal pools that used to
Mm-hmm.
be on the outside. Now that you can't go there now, but they brought other species in a like an overhang, and you can see the tide pools, and now they brought those animals inside so that you can touch them. And some of them are spiny, so you got to be careful and you don't get. But if you need rope while lost, survivor's mode, what do is like a cable. You can tow a truck with it. I don't doubt it. Shoot, I remember we used to buy hemp all the time before it was illegal.
Well, the government used to print posters begging farmers to grow it.
I know. But then they made it illegal. Why? Because people were smoking it?
I have no idea why.
Well,
Back
because they
then,
couldn't get
that
taxes on
stuff
it.
wouldn't get you high anyway.
Yeah.
I think it was during World War One. They printed millions of posters. Grow
Well,
hemp for victory,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they needed, the ships
And for the
all
rope.
had ropes, and they
Yeah.
needed rope, and they made ropes out of hemp. They made the best ropes.
Do they still make ropes out of hemp?
I have no idea.
Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna get, like I said, we're gonna get a half a beef, and I'm exchanging the pasture for the meat. So I'll be paying for 1/4, which is about 240 pounds on one side, and then the hind quarter is going to be for the rest of the year. And he said, "Why don't you just let me graze my cattle for the rest of the year, and you can have the half, the half, no, the quarter." And I said, "Fine with me." It's almost like bartering, like the old days.
Yeah.
Government funded nylon instead. Oh, I see. They stopped using hemp because nylon was cheaper to produce, or they synthesized it.
Well, it darn sure lasts a lot longer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
hemp
shoot, I used to.
eventually will degrade. Nylon, what take it a couple thousand years to
I
disintegrate.
know. In my grandpa's hometown in Mexico, a lot of the locals would make their own rope and they grow their own hemp, in the back, because nobody really had a manufacturing hemp. Most everything was made. Chairs, tables, whatever you needed was made from whatever you could find in the yard or in the backyard or grow it. Hemp was replaced nylon, the miracle string that never breaks. Lakes, rivers are full of nylon. Hemp rots down.
Yep, that's
Huh.
it.
Learned something today.
And nylon floats around out there for God knows how long.
Oh, well, it seems like everybody's going back to the natural. My kids, all they talk about is how did grandma do this? And how did grandma made preserves? And, how did they grow certain things? I'm going, something? I forgot. I probably didn't really pay attention, really. But they're into self-sufficiency. My son-in-law actually grows his vegetables in a aquaponics by using
Yeah.
fish to feed the water. The water feeds the nutrients into the vegetable uh, I guess you would call them aquaponic garden, like a table, and then he's run tubes between it, so the water runs in these pebbles he's got. They're like little round clay.
Yeah, little creek rock.
Yeah, and he's growing vegetables right now, like escarole and romaine and stuff like that. And he has it covered, so he has a little heater, so he's growing salads all year long. Excuse me.
Yeah, we've been seriously thinking about buying a greenhouse and putting a couple of those in them. And I mean, you got fish to eat, you got vegetables to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty much self-sufficient. Self-sufficient once you get it going.
It's funny because I remember my dad talk about his dad. There was like no chain grocery stores, or like everything was either you sold it, you bought it, you ate it, you grew it, or you exchanged it, or you bartered it, either for labor or for parts. And it's funny because when people talk about being preppy or for doomsday, shoot, all I remember ever was picking grapes, and if I was picking grapes or tomatoes, or if we had extra we couldn't eat, we'd go to the neighbor and say, "Hey, you want to exchange this for whatever you? What do you want us to exchange for?" And sometimes it'd be a hammer, sometimes it'd be boards, sometimes it'd be nails, and we'd build a chicken coop. Then we sell the chicken eggs. It's funny because most kids don't even know. Well, most kids are city slickers. They have no idea. They wouldn't be able to survive making their own food.
Yeah, we had chickens for years and years. I mean, laying hens and meat hens. And
7/10 I learned when I wanted to farm ham a couple of years ago. They made illegal to make it illegal or legal to grow, or made it legal to grow, and was growing seminars. That was the argument. Nylon replaces hemp, and lakes are full of it. Excuse me.
yeah, so is the ocean. The oceans. Yep.
It's got full of plastic all over the place.
Yep.
Now even the fish are coming up with their inside their meat. They've got the plastics in them. But I tell you, going off of Monterey, have you gone fishing off of Monterey when you went that last time?
Nope. Never did get a fish.
Oh
I
man,
wish. I wish I
we
could
went
have.
at least 4 times that I can remember. My father-in-law, and my brother-in-laws. I even took my dad one time, and my wife and my sister another time. And we went out there. I just dropped 10 hooks, dropped them all the way to the bottom, 350 feet, 400 feet. One time we went out there. We were 10 miles off the coast of California. I was always come home with at least 40 to 45 pounds of fillets, not fish, fillets, all cleaned and ready to go to take home.
Nice.
I mean, you can get rock cod, link cod, you can get flounder, snapper, sea bass. If you got a sea bass, that was gold right there. Everybody wanted to. Can I buy your sea bass? No, I'm taking it home because no. I mean, if you can get sea bass off of California, especially the cold water one, they say it's good meat to eat.
All the cold water fish taste better than warm water fish. I mean, even around here in the local lakes, you can catch the exact same fish in the wintertime and then go out in the summertime and catch the exact same species, the exact same size. And I can tell you by tasting it whether it's a cold, it was caught in the wintertime or it's caught in the summertime, because the taste is that different.
The thing is with me, I always thought, warm fish like trout and like that, brown trout and rainbow trout, and I always didn't really care for it. But when I went to the ocean and got 40 pounds, I didn't think I was going to eat, much of it. I was going to give it to all my friends, a pound here, a fillet there. No, we started cooking that puppy up. We found different recipes, and we ate the whole summer fish, at least a couple of days a week.
I, I was never a huge fan of trout. I've always loved salmon. Never was a huge
Mhm.
fan of trout until somebody said, "You got smokers?" I said, yeah, smoke them. I said that never crossed my mind. After that, man, I was hooked on smoking trout.
I saw a program the other day, and it was in Spanish, and I I, I can't figure out what part of the Spanish speaking world this they call it manchaca. You ever heard of that?
Nope.
Manchaca is you take a piece of meat, and as you roll it out, you slice it thin, like making jerky.
Yeah.
Like if you get a rump roast or something like that, you start at one end and you start cleaning off all the fat on the outside, all the nerves and all that you don't want, the gristle and all that. And then once you start slicing it, you start rolling it out. As you roll it out, you slice it into a thin piece of meat, and then you put it on a like a plastic clothes liner or some kind of line cross, and then you put it across the line, and then you put sticks in between it so that it'll be air dried, and then you cover it, and then 12 hours later you come back and you turn it over, take out the sticks, because they flip when they flip open, they stay open, and then you cover it back in with a cheesecloth and you close it all the way around. And then what I remember seeing, but I don't remember the taste of it because it's been such a long time, where they get the meat and they pounce it into a pestle and mortar, and they put the garlic in there and they mash it in with the meat until it becomes like a paste. And you roll it up and you put it away into a sartén, which is a what do you call it? A large basin. And you roll it up and you put it in sausages. You can put it in. It's almost like preserving the food because there's no refrigeration in those days. And I remember doing it with my mom, but hanging it outside for 3 days so that it dries out. And it's not because the sun dries it out. Of course, the sun's there.
Uh, Hector, you lost your sound there, buddy. Or maybe it's just me. 710, can you hear him? Because I right in the middle of his story there, he was gone. Yeah, Hector, if you can hear us, buddy, um, your icon's up on the panel, but you're gone. Oh, now his icon's gone. Well, 710. I guess we'll bail. Maybe he'll fire it back up. But either way, I hope you're doing well, my friend. And if he doesn't come back up, hope you have a great night. Bunch of drugs and guns. I can't help you out with the drug part now. I can hold my own when it comes to the guns, but yeah, I'd hate for Hector to get a plane ticket, come to Tennessee to whip my ass. Oh well, I'm gonna bail. Hopefully he'll come back. If not, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around soon, brother. You take care. Love and respect.